AfterBuzzers, we're back for another recap of Mistresses. It's what happens in Vegas. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Shimmy!
Las Vegas.
Like synchronized swimmers over here. Very nice, ladies. Welcome back, everyone, to Mistresses Recap. This is what, season 4, episode 6, and we're going to briefly talk about episode 5. But this one's what happens in Vegas, and as we all know, does not stay in Vegas. Nothing.
It really doesn't.
No.
No,
not at all.
ever.
Before we get into it, I really fast want to mention our sponsor, Lola. It's 100% natural and hypoallergenic cotton tampons for all the ladies out there. It's a great subscription. You can get it monthly or however frequently you wanna get them. Different sizes, different. You know what I'm talking about.
You know
ladies.
what you need.
Yeah,
They got what you need.
Oh, baby.
Lola, you.
And if you visit mylola.com and enter Buzz, you will get order.
That is a good deal.
That is a great deal.
It's made by women for women because.
All right.
I really wanted to say it. That's what she said. I mean, I just said it anyway, but all right.
Thanks,
like
April.
So before we get into what happens in Vegas, the biggest thing was the whole transgender.
Right. Which we knew was
Topic.
coming.
Yeah.
Yes, we did
And
know
then
that
he
was coming.
revealed it.
And then we also got the shocker of who's at Karen's door.
Yeah.
We all knew he was coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll kind of mix that in, but I think those were the two biggest things of lean in.
Yeah. We didn't really touch on the transgender thing again in this episode, like really briefly.
Really briefly.
But just so from episode 5, I thought it was really weird how they like brought it up and then April and Mark talked about it and then they just were
kinda just
over it
Yeah.
already.
I feel like kissing another person no matter what
Yeah,
is
right.
bad, right?
Right.
So it's just for her to just kind of be like, oh, well, he's transgender, and him to be like, oh, well, all right then. Like, that doesn't, it's different. It's not like they kissed, like a friend kiss, you know, like you're out with your friend, whatever,
peck,
and it's a
peck,
kiss.
like the French.
Like they kissed in a romantic way.
Right. Well, he kissed her for sure.
Right. But
Yeah,
still.
Yeah.
She wasn't feeling it.
No.
She was confused though.
Yeah, she
for
was
sure.
confused.
She played that real well, like her just sheer confusion about what her feelings were for him, and I don't know. It was all strange.
And then the whole conversation about was it Kate that brought up maybe you had a sisterly connection with him, and I was like,
Oh, yes.
I don't think like that.
Was it Kate?
That works.
Was
I
it
think
Kate or was
Kate?
it-
It was Kate.
Was it or John?
Or was it? I think it was
I
Kate.
can't remember.
Kate's
I
been
have it
trying to
down
like
here somewhere.
insert her advice here and there.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
But yeah, so that I feel like we didn't really have the conversation we needed to have with that storyline.
I agree with you.
And maybe it'll come back and we will touch on it again.
in the next 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Or maybe they just got it over with because they realized, like, oh crap, maybe this isn't the most like relevant
Right.
and good storyline for this particular show. Because we were all kind
Yeah,
of
well,
like,
it's certainly
what?
relevant. It's just like it was awkward and it was like
I mean, relevant to like the show
The
and
storyline,
according
yeah.
to like what we've been through before. Because
Right.
we all were like, oh, this is such a random thing to put in there. Of course, it's relevant to what we're going through today, but like it didn't. I don't know. It didn't go with the
it
show.
seemed
I
like a
guess.
stretch
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
what was happening
Yes.
with April. Yeah.
And I think it got the message across that, you know, like you said, it doesn't matter what you identify with. Cheating is still cheating or something like that. It shouldn't be like, oh, just because he's transgender, oh, it doesn't count.
Right.
Like we're all
Yeah.
people. One love, guys.
But I don't know. I mean, technically, I don't know. I
Well,
mean,
it's because he kissed her.
right. Yeah.
So, like,
Well,
you can't
he's-
control if someone
yeah.
kisses you. You know what I mean? Like,
Not
and
really.
She backed off. So
Unless you're Joss, you can like sucker punch him or something.
Yeah.
there's always that. Yes.
Right? But she didn't go to the same
there's-
school.
she didn't. She didn't.
Oh, actually, and one other thing, Barbara fires Karen last episode because Karen goes on the podcast, right?
Yes.
And the guy's a total jerk, but that's his like shtick. You know what I mean? Is that what?
Yes.
shtick?
She
That
should have
works.
watched it before she went. Like obviously,
To be prepared.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or listen to it.
Yes, for sure.
Shout out to all the podcasts out there.
I mean,
What
Joss
up?
did say,
I know,
don't you
right?
listen to it, but No.
Yeah,
that
Joss
wasn't-
knew everything, of course, because she's PR.
Yeah.
But she goes back and puts him in his place, and that is embarrassing to him and for Barbara. So she's like, "Bye, Felicia."
I don't know. I feel like Barbara. I think Barbara might come back just because the way Karen sort of ended it, like, "You have no soul." I think that's gonna resonate
Yeah,
with her a
that
little
was
bit.
like-
She's
yeah.
like, "Ooh, I don't want to be a person with no soul," and so I think we might see her again. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is that
so-
a prediction? Oops.
Maybe. Those are
All
two
right.
questionable Michael and Barbara are two characters I'm wondering if they're gonna
I know.
bring back. I'm not
Right.
sure. But let's get into this episode. Like we said, Alec is back, and he's kind of not
Shitty.
on.
Weird.
I
Shitty.
wanted him to be.
Ed Quinn, come on.
Ed.
We want to root for you, but we
know.
can't. You just make it so hard.
They picked like the one thing. It's like, how could you possibly not like this man? Oh, here you go. Like we put it on a
Right.
platter for you.
Exactly.
But he tweeted something earlier today that was like, Alec is back, but is it good or something like
No,
that?
it's not.
And it's awful
No,
and
it's not good.
terrible. And I
not
thought
good.
that like, oh, good things could happen for Karen now, and no, it's just the worst.
Oof.
But I like seeing her get fired up at
Me
the end.
too.
Yes.
And it was finally like, because when she did have the full-time Manny, it was like she wasn't really mothering.
Right,
Like being,
right.
you know, when we had this
Right.
conversation before about her not really having her motherly instinct step in, but now this is like, we're like, yeah, she's the mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those maternal instincts were definitely here this episode.
You will not take my baby.
Guys, I completely forgot to introduce ourselves. So
Oh,
let's
yeah.
do that now.
Hey, we just so
sorry.
excited.
I know. I'm Francesca. You can find me Twitter, Instagram, XOXOCESCA.
I'm Sterling. You can find me at Sterling Cates.
I'm Allison. You can find me everywhere at the Alison Dean.
And I'm April. Y'all can find me everywhere at April Whisenhant.
Sorry guys
there you
about
go.
that.
They
We're
already
just
knew
so
who we
excited.
were.
I know. You
Yeah, they
guys
just
know.
knew.
You guys
keep
know
coming
us.
back.
It's also
know us.
underneath, I think, wherever
Yes.
they're watching. It's sort of under.
I need to go above my
It's
laptop. No.
floating
Yeah,
somewhere.
And I have the chat up, so if y'all are watching live, be sure to chat with us. My computer is currently frozen, but it'll come back in like a second.
Okay, great.
Yes, just so you know.
Yes, let us know what you guys thought about Alec. I mean, like we said, Karen wasn't very motherly, but this ultimately kicked up all the like she
certainly
said,
did.
And who is he to come in after all this time and
Exactly.
is like, I'm going to get full custody and then maybe you can get supervised visits? Like, what? Excuse me? Who are you? Where'd you go?
Like,
But I think this
What's
happens.
happening? It does, I feel like.
But judges
she's
tend to
scary.
go with the mom, right? I mean, not
Usually.
all the time, obviously,
Right.
but most of the time. It's just crazy that he even. I mean, Alec has always been like a strong personality and very opinionated with stuff.
Yes.
But for him to come in and to have the nerve to say the things he said after he just met his baby
Right.
2 days before that.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's going to say, oh no, I'm going to sue you for custody because of.
And you
this,
get
this, and this."
visitation?
Exactly. And he still hasn't even told the truth to his wife that he just left
Yeah.
his baby. I mean, she thinks that Karen asked him to leave. So,
Yeah.
of course, she's on board. You know, little wifey Faith is on board with it.
I don't know. I don't really trust her either. I feel
Oh, I
like
don't
she's
either.
like totally in on this, like, or influencing heavily, or like
Yes.
Yeah.
is a part of it.
I'm sure she's
definitely.
influencing because she's like, what, now all of a sudden she's not going back to work?
Right.
Yeah.
Which it would be a much different scenario if like they had been married for a long time and Alec had been in the picture. Like maybe Karen would be okay with the child's stepmother
Right.
being with it. But then again, at the same time, you don't want someone who already has like a motherly figure, or maybe it's just me. I wouldn't want someone who has who is a motherly figure in the child's life to be raising them more than I would. I would probably
Right.
still want a nanny, but that's just me, or like my mom or something,
Right. So
if
when
that was available.
Yeah, because I mean, the mother has that connection. You know, they're for most mothers, you know, having the baby for 9 months, like you grow to that connection, and she definitely triggered all her motherly instincts. Yeah, I don't trust Faith either. Not saying like she's gonna do anything bad, but I don't know. She just came like, oh, surprise! Like
Yeah.
I wanted to tell I wanted to tell you, but he didn't want me to, and I'm a pediatrician. I know better. You know.
Right.
Right.
In that scenario, like with when the baby was crying and she did like the phone, I'm like, oh, okay. And she was right in the sense that this is never going to be an easy situation. Like, it's never going to be an easy thing to tell you. I mean, maybe she didn't have to like bombard them at dinner.
Right.
Like if she and I almost said Ed. if she and Alec like, sat there at dinner and then like maybe she met her later, something like that, because she didn't even I feel like in that situation it should be a choice for the mother or the parents as to whether they're comfortable with someone else meeting the baby.
Right.
Not just like a friend, but like someone that's serious in your life. But Karen handled it well, even though, I mean, I would not have been that classy.
Yeah, Alex should have told her before in person.
Yeah.
That he's married and that he has this person. And
He should have called her. I mean, like, don't show up and, I don't know. It just, the whole thing was very Mistresses.
Well, she was ambushed, like 100%.
Yeah.
When Faith walked up, that's how, like, Alex still had not even told her at that point
right.
that he was married.
Yeah,
He was
he was
just like,
oh,
I'm
this
interviewing.
is my wife.
Yeah. I would be so pissed.
I love how they played it, though, when the napkin fell and he got down on bended knee. It's
Yeah.
like,
What he really?
no.
I thought he was.
What?
Well, no,
Well, who bends down like that?
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially in that situation. Like, let me not put any strange things in the atmosphere.
Right. You definitely don't, like, you lean down to pick it up.
Thank you.
Don't
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he was lurking
As
in
my
the
wife approaches. Yeah, no.
he was lurking in the shadows to surprise her. Like, you guys left on such weird terms. Yeah,
Yeah.
you shouldn't. No surprises, no weird things.
Yeah, no, the whole thing was definitely ugh.
But I am not happy with him.
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
not happy with it. That
At
whole
all.
scene at the end when she went to the hotel after the papers are served, and then he's giving that whole speech about how that whole thing, I was just cringing. I was like, no. Who are you?
He doesn't know anything about the situation. He learns one little thing, and then obviously he had some kind of valid points. Now, I'm not going to say that they were right or anything, but okay, if he's concerned, like, you're writing this book, and maybe, you know, sleeping with a nanny wasn't the best thing to do, but those are concerns that you raise to one another. You don't immediately attack like he did.
Yeah.
I think they
And in
had
front of
this
someone.
planned like the whole time, and then
Yeah.
they were like maybe just trying to see like how they could get the baby.
Yeah.
Because she didn't just decide 5 minutes ago to not go back to
work.
To work.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like seems very planned.
That's probably why he was being so awkward the entire time.
yeah.
He was being very awkward.
Yeah.
The whole thing, I was like, where's Alec?
Yeah.
Alec is gone.
Trying to
Alec
steal
has
your baby.
fled.
That's where he is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. And I like you said, he makes valid points, but I can't see why he's mad, because it'd be just like she's dating someone else anyways. It doesn't matter if he's the nanny or not.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
like,
not the smartest thing
well, you know,
to do.
yeah, right. Working, putting business and pleasure. Why can't I talk today, guys? I can never talk. But that's like him surprise, like, hi, I'm married. It's equally the same. I want the baby around my wife that you've never met. It's the
Right.
same thing.
Right.
I don't know. That wasn't one of the only surprises this episode. We saw
No.
another hunky dory man.
This surprise I liked.
I did not, I didn't see that one coming, I have to say. And I'm pretty good. I feel like, anyway, okay, I didn't see that
I
one
feel
coming.
like I knew Kate was going to get involved with someone that someone had dated. I didn't know who it was going to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Like she had to get some like drama with the girls.
Yeah, that's true.
The sad thing is, I knew it was him from his body.
Sad.
I'm pretty sure that's Joss's ex before you even
I
see his
have
face.
studied that back.
Right?
Oh yes, and them abs and everything.
Well, they like Scott had the thing about shoes, right? Remember? But this time he was taco guy. So that was I definitely didn't expect it.
Yeah, they didn't give us any real indication outside of the abs.
Outside of the muscles.
Yeah,
The muscles.
that was the first real clue.
You're like,
I've seen these before.
I love
From
that.
my detective work.
I love that she named him Taco Guy, because that's how, if I don't like catch a guy's name or if it's like too loud to hear it, like you have no idea how
Food
many.
association?
I'm
You're
like, oh, Texas guy, or this, and then, but then it never
Zero
works
problem
out.
for her.
We've had so many conversations where I'm like, how do I figure out this guy's name? Because then you never remember, then you're having this conversation, what do you do? Thankfully
Right.
she knew, she just, had it saved as Taco Guy.
taco
Right.
guy.
But it works.
Ask us, he's married.
I have to say, I felt like their chemistry was, and granted it's been a while since I saw Joss on screen with him, but I feel like they had better chemistry.
I did too.
Yeah,
I
they definitely
liked it.
had
They were
chemistry for
fiery.
sure.
Like, she was good with him. I was, I believed it.
Yeah, they definitely had chemistry.
It was happening fast, but I believed it.
Hey,
too.
Yeah.
and I think it's not over.
No.
Well,
Well,
no.
clearly.
Ain't over?
No.
Still isn't
But
over.
how messy is that? Like
they'll figure it out. Joss can't speak. She's now with her.
That's what
You
I'm
know
saying.
I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Joss is dating her sister's ex-husband, and then
Joss is
the
marrying
husband's
her
sister is dating her ex-fiance. It's just like this weird web.
It's
it
a
seems
weird-
like
it definitely is.
family. It's all in the family for Joss's storyline.
Yeah, and you really can't be mad about it. though.
No.
And they both went into it without intentions of like.
Yeah, of course.
They didn't know when it happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't
So
even think she
sometimes-
would be upset.
I think she will. I think
I
she's
think
gonna
she
be. I think
would.
she's gonna be affected adversely initially.
Well, she did leave him at the wedding.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's true.
It's not going to be anything where she's like, "Oh, great, yay!"
No, right.
But I have a feeling that she'll be like, "Oh, okay," because
No,
it's not
she's
like
gonna have
she
to
really
digest.
loved him.
She's.
I feel like Harry might have the weird reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
a
he
good point.
is so protective over Kate, and also he like, I don't know, just whatever his relationship with Scott is, like that's just weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, he doesn't want someone who his wife used to bang constantly around, right? That's weird. But I the whole time, though, I kept thinking what you said. I was thinking, I'm like, oh, they'll just figure it out. Because the chemistry did seem so
yeah.
good between the two of them
Electric.
that I'm like, that seems more important than, like, the little details.
Right.
But that other detail that he's married. Oh, yeah.
So
Separated.
that whole like soap opera moment, but outside the hospital or whatever,
Very
they were
soap
like
opera.
talking about Joss and Harry, and I'm like, wait, but you're still married, so
Right.
like you really can't be together.
They're like
because of that.
covering the larger issue with these
with it.
other things
Yeah.
to make you forget it. But it's like, okay, he may be separated, but no, he's still
Yep.
married.
So do you guys think that people that are separated can't date?
But are they separated?
Not just
Like, do we know that for
They
sure?
keep saying that they
keep saying
that
he was separated.
They're saying technically separated.
So
So, yeah.
quote.
I bet he's still married. His wife's still at home cooking dinner.
Ooh.
Well, I don't think she's cooking him dinner.
No. Well, because he's having dinner with her.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's still like. Why is he hiding it so much then?
Yeah.
Hiding.
Her like you know what I mean? Like why when?
Well, it's only been like 2 days.
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
I like that.
I feel like the cheater always says, "Oh, but I don't love her. Or
Yeah.
I'm separated," but really they're together.
Maybe
so.
the writers are just like, dang, we shouldn't have written that
Yeah.
he got married with someone else.
yeah.
Well, I think that if he was actually separated for real, I don't necessarily think I kind of did until you said, can separated people not date? And I'm like, oh, I guess they can, but it's just a sticky situation because there's so many possible lie scenarios that could come up.
Right.
Yeah. If he's separated, like for real, she would have saved him as in her phone as Scott and not Taco Guy to make up for the fact that he's married. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
that's-
She like
okay.
Kate like thinks it's like this whole big secret because he's married. You know what I mean? Like even
Yeah.
even the dude that she was talking to at work and stuff, she's like, but he's married and
Yeah.
I'm gonna save him as my phone as Taco Guy.
And her telling the story to April and Karen and talking
guy.
about the Ryan.
A married man, hooking
Right.
up with a married man, blah blah.
Which is technically true because that's what happened last episode, but she was just using it for the advice for herself.
Right.
What is anyone saying anything in chat?
Hey guys, welcome back. Hey everyone.
Oh.
Say who it
Not
is.
anything about
Shout
the specifics.
out to them.
Caitlin and Sheena456 and Mr. Emi. Sorry if I just mispronounced that. And Melissa Stewart.
What's up?
What up, everybody?
Everybody?
Everybody. What do you guys think about April? I feel like her character this season is just so
Wah,
bitchy.
wah. Yeah,
think?
not so fab.
I'm not really into it.
Well, she, as far as like the church situation goes, she makes
Ooh, that's a bad face.
it keeps getting frozen on me
Yeah.
every time I'm like, she
not
makes
good.
valid points in the sense of like, I mean, how much freedom do you allow your kids? And if you want to, you know, religion is a very important thing. So if you want to shape your kids a certain way, it's like, how much do you force them to go? And then if you just say, oh, don't go at all, like, I don't know, it's a weird line because like whenever I was little, we like went to church. Like there was no
Yeah.
other option. Now as I got older, even in high school, it was an option for me, but I still chose to go. So I don't know, it's kind of but a lot of my friends, it wasn't like they went to church
Yeah.
all the time. So I don't know, it's kind of a weird a weird line, I think.
It's also a weird line, like how far Mark can go to voice his opinion in that situation.
Right.
Because he isn't Lucy's father, and she's clearly... Lucy's taking advantage of that situation. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go to church, so why do I have to?
Right.
Blah, blah. But it's also, like, that is April's daughter. But they're wanting to co-parent now, so then they're going to have to...
It's just like blurry
Figure it
line.
out.
Yeah.
But they're not co-parenting because it's just what April wants to do.
That's true.
Right.
That is true.
I thought whenever he had the initial conversation with April, I thought that he did a pretty good job. Maybe he shouldn't have been so quite like, well, no. Like, he was kind of a little, you know what I mean? Like, his attitude was a little maybe
Passive.
He's a little entitled.
Yeah,
I felt like...
it was a little bit of like a couple notches up than he should have been.
Right.
But I thought that he had the right like motive and point behind it.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of the last dude she dated, the principal or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when he like tried to parent Lucy and
Yes.
be like, "You're being too this way."
He called
or
her like
too
a
this
brat
way.
or something.
Yeah, but he also like was critiquing April's parenting.
I did not
And
like
so
that
when,
guy.
Yeah, so when Mark like said, "You're gonna push Lucy away" or whatever, I was like, "Oh no, this is not gonna go over well with April."
There's a different way to say like, oh, this is a possibility of happening than being like, if you force her to do this, this could happen.
Right,
So,
yeah.
I mean, like, obviously that's not gonna work for her.
No. But she has been very like militant. Like that's what Lucy said, Mussolini in a maxi dress.
Yeah.
Like I mean, we've seen her
has
over
been.
you know, you can't have a boyfriend, you can't do this, you can't do that, and
It's a lot of no's
it's
coming
true.
from her.
She needs to
Not
go
a
to
lot of
improv.
compromise.
she needs
That'll help her.
Not a lot of compromise on her end, like on all fronts.
She needs she needs a story happening, like a more consistent-y one.
Yeah.
I think whenever, like at the end when Mark was discussing, like, I want to co-parent, and she said, but this is a thing that's a non-negotiable for me. Okay, that religion, something like that can be a non-negotiable for you, but it just seems like so many things are non-negotiables. Like, okay, you can have a few where it's like, even though we're co-parenting, this is this important to me, but not like every single thing.
Right. And also, why do her and Mark never like touch? They never
don't.
kiss. They never hug. Like,
Well, like once
in a blue moon.
Once in a
the
blue moon.
other day, I mean, the last episode, not the other day. I don't know. I don't know what it was. He like tried to, you know, have some sexy time, and then that just never happened.
kibosh. Yeah, I
And
don't
they
know.
had so much chemistry last season. It's
true.
And I feel like whenever they're in those little moments, the few that they have been this season, I feel it. And then it's just, they make it too much of like two people parenting or something. Like I get that she has a daughter and that's a part of their story, but like there's more. That's not what we really want.
Yeah,
This is called Mistresses for a reason.
I just have a feeling they're going to break up soon.
Well,
Which is unfortunate.
Well,
next week.
the ex-girlfriend
Or not
is
next week.
back.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know. There's just not that fire.
There's not.
And I think it's just because, like Karen said, she's holding on so much to Lucy because I think she's, like we talked about in previous episodes, she doesn't know really what's going on in her life. She's kind of having like a midlife crisis, I feel like.
But also because she doesn't know what's going on in her life, but she doesn't really know what's going on in Lucy's life because she says no all the time. So
Right.
Lucy has to hide everything.
Right.
So it's like, of course you're going to feel like you're losing her, like she's not there as much
You're
because
pushing
she
her away.
can't really tell you anything.
Mussolini.
Mussolini. I used to call my mom Mussolini.
Wow.
I mean, only
Did she wear
joking.
maxi dresses?
Only
Truth
joking,
comes out.
obviously. I'm like, let me go to this party, Mom.
Right?
No. That was it.
But you win anyways, right?
Snuck out.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Mom.
I did. Oh, she knows. I love telling her now about stuff that I
yes.
did because I didn't like drink or anything in high school, but she always thought that I would because, you know, a party is a party. And so she just wouldn't let me go anyway. And I'm like, I'm gonna go. So I'll always think, I'm like, you remember when I really wanted to go to this? I didn't talk to you for like a week because you didn't let me go. I'm like, I will. But she can't get mad now.
The
She's
truth
like,
comes
"What?"
out.
Yeah.
It's true. She can't get mad now.
Secrets.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. Can't get mad now, Mom.
She gets mad for like 30 seconds and then it's fine. Yeah. Whatever.
So I think the biggest thing, there's actually a lot of good stuff. This was actually one of the better episodes this
This was the
season.
best episode
Yes.
so far.
So
To me,
good.
anyway.
And one of the crazy things was Joss finally kicked some ass for real in life. So
Yes, she did.
not just in the class
IRL.
anymore. IRL.
I don't know.
So they go to Vegas and they're getting like VIP
Everything.
treatment.
Everything.
I was trying to scratch my ear with my earphone on. I'm sorry. I was like,
I was like, you can't hear?
Yeah.
They're getting VIP treatment. And I knew something was fishy with Reza, the cousin Reza, but I thought actually it was going to be the girl. Because did you see when they were at the craps table or whatever they
She
were
like
playing?
whispered. to
She's like, I
him.
gotta go. We gotta go. It was like strange.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I was like, why?
It seemed like call girl.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
that's probably what it is.
Your
It
time is
could've been.
expiring.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, I guess it could have been because maybe he wanted to do something like a little more forceful with her, and she didn't want that.
Right, because
Like at the
sometimes
end.
because I used to live in Vegas, and I used to see this a lot. A lot of girls will go and play with the high rollers because they'll get drunk and they'll tip them like, you know,
Lots of moolah.
the
Right.
chips, right? But a lot of guys are expecting obviously something else because they're kind of like paying them for their time. So
Right.
maybe that's what happened. Maybe
Yeah.
Reza's a douchey Vegas.
Well, he's definitely douchey. We got that.
He
For
had
sure.
enough chains on.
Check
to
that
prove
box.
that.
Yeah.
But awkward that it had to be, you know, Jonathan's cousin because this is a huge thing.
Business partner.
But she did the right thing. The girl was obviously in trouble.
And she literally like screamed, "Don't leave me with him." I mean,
Yeah.
what else do you do in that situation?
Like,
Although
bye?
she didn't have to like keep going,
Right.
but like the
She had
initial
to break his
like,
arm.
the initial, you know,
Yeah, she
tear
definitely
him
needed
off.
to get the girl from him.
Yeah.
But she didn't need to like break his arm or whatever.
But then
it
she
was.
left without the girl. I was
Right,
like,
where
get
did
the girl
go?
go.
She was
just ran off.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might have just ran off.
No, she did just run off, like without the chick.
And then goes
No,
downstairs.
we're wondering like where the
Girl
the
went,
girl
because she
went.
wasn't in
Oh.
the background in that shot.
She
when
was
he-
like hiding in a corner. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But then she runs downstairs and then acts like nothing happened.
Right.
Yeah,
I did not like that.
that.
It's just so unrealistic. Like, I'm sure her hand was, well, they show her hand and it was red, but obviously, like, it's like, why not? Why would you not immediately tell him? There's nothing wrong. Like, that doesn't mean that, oh, he's gonna find out you've been doing all of these classes. Like, but to say, like, oh my gosh, this thing just happened. Like, that just seems like the natural
That
thing.
was
Like,
so
I stopped
weird.
him.
It's
Yeah.
like back to the whole Josh can't communicate the realities of
crap,
her
yeah.
life
Yeah.
to him.
It doesn't make sense that she wouldn't tell him. Like, I can't
Right.
think of other than because of him being a business partner. But then it's like that's more reason why she
Right.
should tell him.
In my head, when I saw the scene of when she comes back down and then Harry's like obviously so excited and still having the time of his life, like maybe she didn't want to ruin that for him. But also at the same time, this is clearly gonna get back to him.
Right. It's a big
Yeah.
enough thing to where
It's-
like you mess
Yeah.
up the night.
But I mean, they were literally about to go get married. Like, you're supposed to be your best friend, your fiance, your husband's supposed to be like your best friend. Like, if something like that happened, I would.
It's crazy. Yeah, that I do not like that she didn't tell him or
No.
continues to lie to him about this stuff.
Because he's gonna be so upset whenever he finds out.
It's breakup worthy.
And
It
it's just
really
gonna
is
be
breakup worthy.
It's gonna
I
be
feel like.
weird. Like, oh, why didn't you tell me this
Right.
huge thing?
Yeah.
But the only thing that I appreciated about, well, this has nothing to do with her not telling him, but I liked that we're starting to see the little flashbacks of what actually happened to her.
But not really.
But well,
Yeah,
not
it's too
really.
quick.
But when
I'm
we
like-
see like now we know she was like tied down with
Yeah.
those clear things,
Right.
and we see. I mean,
Zip
we see him
tie?
like
Was it a zip tie?
zip tie or whatever, and we see him like smacking her around. So I mean, we don't know anything about what happens, but now we know she was like legitimately. Tied up and everything. So I don't know. I like that we're finding out a little more, but
Yeah.
it's just not going to make sense. Caitlin Correa thinks it was awesome that Joss kicked his butt.
I mean, yeah, I think she definitely did the right thing in that regard as far as protecting herself, and because he pushed her.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
So I mean, of course, self-defense.
And she tried to stop it at first.
Yeah, and she tried to talk him through it first, and then he pushed her and collared her a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Which case I would punch you in the face too.
words.
That with me, not today. But yeah, so I mean, like, I don't think she did anything like too crazy. I mean, she definitely had the moves.
She like broke his arm, didn't she?
The crazy part was her not telling Harry immediately. Like that was the crazy part to me.
Yeah.
I think it's because she like snapped because she saw like those visions. But again, like, why wouldn't you tell? Because it's so much more worse
Right.
later.
Well, I think she was scared that she lost control.
Yeah.
And didn't really know how to handle that.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That's true.
that makes sense too, but it's just concerning that the person you are about to marry in 45 minutes is also the same person you're hiding all of this
Yep.
Like a major lie. Oh,
Right.
I just got upset that the family wasn't going to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that she thought of that fast.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking
weird.
of it the whole time. I'm like, they're not going to get married tonight.
Yeah.
I knew that, but I'm like, how is she going to get out of it? And that's what the only excuse that people in Vegas could like possibly think of at that point.
Right.
Anyway.
We need
But-
our friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
Not a good move.
No.
And I'm really bummed that we got like 3-4 weeks until we see it again. So should we do predictions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know.
Huge hiatus.
literally
in the middle of this.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
Why do they do that to us?
I hate when shows have like mid-season finales.
I wonder if it
You
has
know?
anything to do with Olympic stuff.
Oh,
maybe.
maybe.
But isn't the I don't know.
Oh, it's NBC. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Is it?
Anyway.
It must be sports.
Yeah. it always is. It's some
Right?
it's
It
some
has
kind
to do
of
with
something.
sports.
Yeah.
Or maybe Bachelorette, because it's getting down to the wire.
Oh,
But
maybe.
not 4 weeks worth of that.
It could be. There's like about 4 weeks of Bachelorette left.
True. I don't know.
They could,
they do, like, a
they're gonna have
4
the
hour?
after the rose and then all that stuff because it's like getting down to the finale. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
This is unacceptable.
It is right when it's getting good.
right? So good.
Yeah.
So
April,
what do you guys think? Yeah.
April.
Yeah, April. Your turn first.
I see definitely Trouble in
see.
Paradise for April and Mark.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I'm
Whose
just not necessarily
condom do we
feeling
think it is?
Oh yeah, that was awkward.
I think it's gonna be the girls, his girlfriends. I don't know why I think that.
I like it.
No, they were like doing laundry or something, right? Like, why would they be doing her laundry?
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could be Lucy and what her boyfriend.
Oh, and they like made it look like it's them, so we look at.
I think Sterling might be onto something here.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I do.
I think that I really want
Oh.
Karen and Alec. That I want them to be together. Not currently.
Not anymore.
But I wanted it so bad after last season that it's like I can't forget it just yet. But I also I think Karen really is going to destroy him.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean,
And
there's
then
just
she's
no
going
way.
to devour him.
Yeah,
Yes, his
but
body.
for him to treat her this way and like to just turn on her like
I know.
that, I don't trust him anymore, and I don't want him
No.
with her.
Maybe Joss will beat up the woman.
I was just about to say you have Joss and Karen together.
Dynamo.
I'm being on my best behavior.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know. That's pretty much it for
But
me.
it sucks though because like as Vivian's father, he will always be Vivian's father.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But now that he's turned just like that, it's like
I think he'll
Now
end up
what?
like
Now what
blaming
do
it
we
on the
do?
chick.
now what do we do with his
On
character?
Faith.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
I
Why
know.
does she have to be named Faith?
I know. Have some faith. Ugh.
Yeah.
I know. We're like, ugh.
What do you? So obviously we see Kate and Scott are gonna keep up the shenanigans. Like, how do you guys think
I'm
it's
down
really
for
gonna
that.
go down?
I like that.
I'm down for this.
Yeah.
I am.
Mistress. We got a mistress on our hands.
Finally,
It was bound to happen. Thank God.
I'm down
They
for
are
that
delivering.
situation.
Yeah. No, it feels right.
Yeah. I don't know. I did feel bad for him when Joss like straight up
Hell
ditched
yeah.
him. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of
He deserves happiness.
Vindication.
Yeah.
For Scott.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I like them. And then we kind of need to figure out what's going on with just April in general and
Yeah.
giving her some sort of action.
Right. Giving her something
And I guess with good old Joss, hopefully in the next coming weeks, we'll finally get some honesty out of her.
right?
Hopefully.
I just don't know how that's going to blow over with Harry because obviously in the preview we saw that he's going to press charges or
Yeah.
like they might hold that over Harry's head like if you don't do this at the restaurant in Vegas then we're going to press charges.
Yeah. That would suck.
This whole thing is
It's weird. It is weird.
Like Josh said, she's skeptical of why they're just showering him with all these gifts. So they're kind of at his mercy
Yeah.
right.
at this moment.
Because they made
Yeah.
a whole thing about no strings attached, and there clearly are going to be
Strings
strings
attached.
attached.
Lots of strings.
Of course.
All the strings.
I don't know. Do our faithful listeners have any?
They just like that Joss kicked a lot of ass.
Yeah.
They're
That
into
her
it.
instructor though, like, is kind of scary.
Totes.
But
yeah.
also, like, I don't think she has Joss's best interest in mind.
No.
Because I don't like that I mean, I get. Oh god, this is gonna sound bad. I know. I don't like that they're making it seem like the only people who go to a class like that is like all of
People
those
that were
women.
victims?
They have that
Yeah.
other thing. It's like no, people can go for genuine like
Yeah.
string training or whatever.
Yeah, well, I think this particular group, they made it like a therapy thing. Like, they're like a bond of
Yeah.
sisterhood that's been through similar experiences or whatever. Like, I don't think that's just like a general, like, strength training.
Oh no, right. I get that, but I liked when they showed it just being like a class more. I don't know. The instructor just seems too intense for
She
me.
seems
very
too
intense.
involved with everyone, and it's kind of like, what's going on in her life?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she needs to maybe get her life together before
Tell
she
me
can.
about you.
Yeah, like, I am kind of curious about.
I don't know if we're gonna get that
background.
storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like loose threads, you know, that they're just kind of just hanging off, like frayed jeans, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you have? What do you think?
I don't know. I just whatever. It's a good show. I don't. I like. I mean, I'm on the same page with all you guys. I'm
Maybe she
hoping
needs to change her tampon brand. Is what needs to
She
happen.
needs to get 60% off her Lola
Yes,
tampon.
maybe
subscription.
that's really
Yeah.
what needs to
That
happen.
could be it, guys.
The answer to everything.
Yeah.
tampons.
Perfect fit. I'm just saying, it could be that.
Literally.
All right. Well, we'll miss you guys for like a month. Make sure to comment. It's so horrible. Make sure to comment what you guys think what you think is gonna happen, because they left us with the
4
mini
weeks?
little
Yeah.
cliffhangers.
Right.
What the heck?
Crazy.
Crazy. April, where can we find you in the in between?
Y'all can find me everywhere at April Whisenhant.
You can find me everywhere at the Alison Dean.
You can find me at Sterling Cates.
And XOXO CESCA, and we'll miss you guys.
We will miss you.
See ya.
See you in a month.
See you in August. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.